A previous video we have seen characteristics of Indra Devta and Indra Sukta described in Rigveda. That video link is given in description box. In this video we are going to see Dashraj War which is described in Rigveda. During the Vedic period, Indian civilization was spread in all the countries of the world, which is called Jambudvip. People were divided into different castes, tribes and kabilas. Their chiefs were called the kings. With the passage of time, their feeling of expanding their civilization and kingdom increased, and they tried to expand themselves all around through the war and friendship. And in this sequence, many castes, tribes and kabilas became extinct. A new civilization and culture emerged. In this sequence, the Dashraj War became the first war with far-reaching impact on the Indian subcontinent. This war not only established Aryan as a great power but also proved the superiority of Maharshi Vasishtha, the supporter of monarchy, over the Maharshi Vishwamitra, the supporter of democracy. During the period, the political system was changing from a republican community to one centered on kings. In the Dasharagya War, the Bharata clan was based on kingship, whereas the tribe opposing them were almost all democratic. The Battle of 10 Kings is the first known war not only in Indian history but in the history of the entire world. Dashraj War was also described as another Mahabharata. You all know that the Mahabharata war was the most terrible war of India. Everyone discusses the Mahabharata war because a book has been written on it, and Lord Krishna was the facilitator of this war. Hence, everyone remembers this war. But before the Mahabharata war that took place 5000 years ago, there was another great battle which was known as the Dashraj War. This war took place about 7200 years ago. Discussion of this war is found in Rigveda. Most of us familiar with the horrors of wars of Ram Ravana and Mahabharata, but we are unaware that apart from this war, there was another great war which is known as Dasharagya War. This was the first fierce war of Aryavat which took place between the Aryans in the Aryavat region. In many ways, the description of this war is still present in every country and culture of the world. As a result of this war, various human tribes spread and expanded in remote areas of India and outside India. It was named Dasharagya War because this war was fought by 10 kings simultaneously. A coalition of 10 kings rose up against Bharatjana of the Rigvedic period, and ultimately Sudas, then the king of Bharatjana, had to fight. This war is mentioned in the 18th Sukta of the 7th Mandal of Rigveda. This is called the War of 10 Kings. In this war, on one side was Suryavamshi King Sudas and another side were 10 kings of the other districts. Sudas' assistants and priest was Sage Vasishtha. Devraj Indra had supported Sudas in this war only on the advice of Vasishtha. This war also shows how many clans or tribes the Aryan had and how far their power spread on earth. According to historians, this battle took place near Parishni River, means Ravi River, in modern Pakistani Punjab. This was a war after which religion and history changed in the Indian subcontinent, whose impact was similar to that Ram Ravana and Mahabharata war, which played an important role in determining the condition and direction of Indian society and culture. In those days, the entire Aryavat was divided into many pieces and was ruled by different castes and tribes. Sudas was the king of the Bharata caste clan. He fought wars with various tribes, including other tribes of his own clan. He fought most of the battles with the people of Puru, Yadu, Turvashu, Anu, Drumu, Alin, Panktha, Balan, Shiva and Vishanin tribes. The biggest and decisive war was fought under the leadership of the Aryan community named Puru and Trishtu. In this war, on one side there were warriors from the Aryan community called Puru, and other side there were people from the community called Trishtu. Both of them belonged to the community of Indo-Aryans called Bharata. However, some of the leadership of the Purus were considered non-Aryans. Leadership of Trishtu. The Trishtu community was led by the King Sudas, the the ruler of Panchal. Sudas was the son of Devadas, who was himself the son of Srinjay. Srinjay's father name was Devavrat. Sudas' advisor in the war was sage Vasishtha, who was a supporter of the king's system of governance. Leadership of Puru. 10 kings were fighting against Sudans, who were led by King Samarvan of Puru clan, whose military advisor was sage Vishwamitra. These communities fought against Sudas. Sudas, the famous hero of Rigveda, was the leader of Bharatjana, and priest Vasishtha was his assistant. Their enemies were 5 major tribes, that is Anu, Dhruv, Yadu, Turvashu, Puru, and 5 minor tribes Alin, Pankta, Balan, Shiva, and Vishanin. The leader of the opposing group was sage Vishwamitra, and it was led by the Purus. However, different descriptions of 10 kings are found everywhere. Presented here is the description found in most places. Alin community. Historians believe that this tribe lived in the northeast of the Nuristan region of Afghanistan. The Chinese pilgrimage Huan Tangs mention this place as their homeland. Anu. This was the community of clan of Anu, son of Yayati, who lived near Purushni river, means Ravi river. Bhrigu community. It is believed that this community belonged to the lineage of ancient sage Bhrigu. Later, they were related to the composition of Bhrigu Angaris section of Atharva Veda. Balan community. According to some historians, these were the people who settled in the area of Bolan Pass. Dhruv. According to Rigveda, this community belonged to Dhruv clan, which live in Gandhar region of Afghanistan. Matsya. This community is mentioned in Rigveda, but later it is also mentioned that they are related to Shalva. These were people of tribal community. Parsu. Parsu community was a community of ancient Parsis. Iran was their place of origin. In ancient time, Iran was called a Persian country. Puru. This community was a great confederacy of Rigvedic period, which is said to have settled on the banks of the Saraswati river, although in the Aryan period they ruled in the region of Jammu Kashmir and the Himalayas. Pani. They are considered to be the demon family. In the historical research, they are said to be related to the Scythian people. Das. These were slave tribes. In Rigveda, they were known as Dashu. It is believed that they were black in color. Such rare examples are found in history when after a great king, his son in even more famous. Rigvedic period, King Sudas was one such exceptionally illustrious son who greatly carried forward the succession of his father Devadas. Devadas, who not only made Saptasindhu safe for the Aryans by destroying the menace of mountain bandits, but also opened the way to the rich pastures and valleys of the Himalayas and its mines, and established unity among the Aryans from Indus to Saraswati, gave it the shape of the state. But all the Aryans were not ready for this. So as soon as Devadas died, they rebelled everywhere. For this, King Sudas had to struggle more than his father. 10 king tribes, including some non-Aryan tribes, were waging a war against Sudans, led by King Samvaran of the Puru clan, whose military advisor was the sage Vishwamitra, who was supporter of democratic system of governance. King Samarvan of Hastinapur was a descendant of King Ajamid of Bharata's clan. The Puru community was a great confederation of the Rigvedic period, which was settled on the banks of the Saraswati river. During the Aryan period, they ruled Jammu and Kashmir and the Himalaya region. In fact, it was a battle of power and ideology. The biggest reason was the dispute over the priesthood and water distribution. Initially, the royal priest of Sudas was Vishwamitra. Later, after differences of opinion, Sudas removed Vishwamitra and appointed Vasishtha as his royal priest. In the spirit of revenge, Vishwamitra prepared the formation of a tribal confederacy of 10 kings like Puru, Yadu, Turvashu, Anu, and Dhrumu, and 5 other small tribes like Alin, Balan, Shiva, and Vishanin, etc., who live in the area from Iran to Afghanistan, Bolan Pass, Gandhar, and Ravi River. In fact, the background of this war had been prepared years ago. Trishtu, King Devadas, was a very powerful king king who killed a king named Sambar. After defeating him and with the help of Indra, he destroyed 99 cities built by him. Indra had formed 52 kingdoms on earth. There were many kings against Indra who later gradually formed 10 big and small kingdoms there. Those 10 kings lived together. These 10 clans or tribes united under the leadership of Samvarvan and on advice of Vishwamitra. This war took place on the banks of river Parushni, that is Ravi river. Enemies had broken the dam of Parushni, due to which its water started flowing everywhere and submerging the entire land area. As a result, a war had to be fought with them, in which more than 66,000 people of the opposition were killed. Ultimately, they were forced to accept Indra's supremacy. In this war, King Anu also got help from foreign countries, today's Iran, Syria, Afghanistan, Turkey, Greece. The only objective of this war was to loot the wealth of Trishtu kingdom and mass murder of King Sudas family and its citizens. After looting the wealth, King Anu ruled over this area, and it was decided to give equal share to everyone every year on the annual wealth. But in this war, King Sudas defeated this massive army and laid the foundation of united Bharatvarsha, and Sudas became the first empire. Those who survived this war after getting immunity were displaced abroad, and they told about this great war, the strategy, politics of King Sudas, and the respect they received from people. Sudas Bharatas were victorious in this war, and their authority over Aryavrat and Aryans of the North Indian subcontinent was established. The name of this country was Bharatakhanda, and this region was called Aryavrat. But due to this war, later the name of the entire country became Bharata instead of Aryavrat. After the Dasharagya War, the people of the defeated kings moved toward the west, and there is evidence that it was these people who laid the foundation of 5 major states: Parthi, Persian, Baloch, Pakhtum, and Pishak. Apart from these, the people who were defeated in this war, other people divided into 16 groups and went to different places. These people occupied 16 other areas, of which there is evidence they occupied Sogadiana, Margiana, Bacteria, Kabulistan, Ghazni, Nantha, Orochesia, Dargiana, Zamin. This tribe established themselves in places like the area between Dawar and Kallat-i-Giljai, Lugar Valley, the area between Kabul and Kuram, Ariana, Vaija, Iran, etc. The foundation of Bharata was laid after the victorious campaign of Sudas. Probably after the victory of Saptasindhu and Aryavrat, Sudas had again turned toward the east, due to which the area of Saryu was also included in his kingdom. Or the 10 kings here had accepted the suzerainty of Sudas and made a treaty. Sudas often had to face challenges on the western border. The defeated peoples who founded the 5 kingdoms and 16 tribes tried to reestablish themselves and settle in the trans-Indus areas. Their effort resulted in war instead of compromise or peace, and they could not stand before Sudas' power and fighting skills, due to which Sudas spent his entire life in fighting. Due to the war, the western powers started getting destroyed, while the collective area of Sattva Sindhu and Aryavrat got stronger due to rivers, mountain, fertile land, milch animal, etc. Since there was shortage of water, crops, and milch animal in the western areas, this displaced group spent many years trying to establish themselves in a suitable place. These people increasingly settled in today's Iran, the Kudras of Iran, Afghanistan, Greece, and some other place. It took them years to organize everything at this place. Meanwhile, there is no description of any major war. King Somak was the 3rd generation of King Sudas. After the era of Ramchandra, the Yadus and Purus once again started moving forward according to their old glory. Yadukuls spread from Mathura to Dwarka, and Andhaka, Vrishni, Kukur, and Bhoj were prominent among them. Krishna was their foremost representative. After King Sudas, Samvaran's sons Kuru, Kurus, increased his power and brought the Panchal kingdom under his control. During that time, the state was jointly called Kuru Panchal. But after some time, Panchal became independent again. Kuru of Samvarvan clan captured Panchal. The Kuru dynasty became famous by the name of Kuru. The state near the Saraswati river was called Kurukshetra after the name of King Kuru. His descendants were called Kauravas, and later on Indraprastha and Hastinapur became their two famous cities near Delhi. The famous Mahabharata war between brothers Kauravas and Pandavas once again proved to be a disastrous event in Indian history. In such way, we have seen description of Dasraj War which is described in Rigveda. To get such more information and enlighten yourself, subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you.